A lot of banks still think they're competing on branch locations, brand recognition, and market size. But AI is changing the rules. Because when someone asks ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Perplexity for the best business checking accounts, the winner isn't always the biggest bank. In many cases, it's the company that AI can explain most clearly and recommend most confidently, and that's creating a major shift in one of the most competitive financial categories online. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, founder and CEO of LLM Authority Index. At LLM Authority Index, we study how AI systems rank, compare, and recommend companies during real buying decisions. And one of the most interesting categories we've analyzed recently is business checking accounts. For years, business banking was largely driven by traditional advantages, big brands, large branch networks, long operating histories. But AI recommendation systems don't evaluate businesses the same way consumers did 10 years ago. AI looks for clear category fit, clear differentiation, clear explanations, and that's where many traditional banks are starting to lose ground. Think about the prompts increasingly shaping buyer decisions: best business checking account, best bank for LLC, best online business account with no monthly fees. These are the questions business owners are asking AI before they ever visit a website. In our latest Business Checking Accounts AI Market Discovery Index, we analyzed 848 tracked observations across a modeled monthly demand of more than 3.3 million searches. What we found was striking. A small group of digital-first providers are dominating AI recommendations. Bluevine emerged as the strongest recommendation leader. Not only did it appear frequently, but it also captured the highest recommendation coverage, the strongest top 3 presence, and the most rank 1 placements. Right behind it were Mercury, Novo, and Relay. These brands consistently appeared inside AI-generated shortlists. And that's an important distinction. Being mentioned is one thing. Being recommended is something entirely different. Now, this doesn't mean traditional banks are disappearing. Chase, for example, remains a strong option in many AI responses, especially when branch access, merchant services, or full-service banking are part of the conversation. But here's the key insight. AI recommendation systems increasingly reward category narratives: best for startups, best for freelancers, best for online businesses, best for no-fee banking, best for sub-accounts. Those explanations are easy for AI systems to understand and repeat, and that often gives digital-first business checking accounts an advantage. The biggest buying moments in this category aren't happening around generic awareness. They're happening during decision stage prompts. The highest demand clusters include business financing and account pricing, best business banking solutions, and business banking comparisons. This is where buyers narrow options. This is where shortlists form. And increasingly, this is where AI influences who gets chosen. At LLM Authority Index, one of the patterns we see repeatedly is that companies often focus on visibility while ignoring recommendation position. But recommendation position is where commercial value lives. There's a huge difference between appearing in an answer and being the first recommendation in that answer. That's the difference between exposure and influence, between visibility and selection, between being found and being chosen. The lesson here extends far beyond business checking accounts. Every category is moving toward AI-driven recommendation environments. The future winner won't necessarily be the biggest brand. It will be the brand that owns the strongest recommendation narrative, the one AI systems can confidently explain, the one supported by stronger citations, clearer positioning, and more relevant category signals. In other words, the market is shifting from being found to being chosen, and that's a much harder game to win. The most important question in AI discovery isn't whether your brand appears, it's whether your brand gets recommended when buyers are ready to decide. In the world of business checking accounts, we're already seeing that shift happen, and the companies that understand recommendation control today will have a significant advantage tomorrow. Visibility is not market control. Recommendation is. If you want the full breakdown of how AI is reshaping categories like business checking accounts, I'll link the report below. And if you're trying to understand how AI is positioning your company in real buyer conversations, that's exactly what we analyze at LLM Authority Index.